Hey everybody, man, welcome back to Intercepted with Kevin Byron, man. This week, I have a great guest, man, the 9th overall pick last year in the draft, man, the one and only Rome Odunze, man. Appreciate you having Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Listen, bro, I haven't did this podcast in a couple weeks. I know the fans been wanting another episode or whatever, but we have to talk about these past few weeks, man. Obviously, I feel like we had a disappointing loss in Baltimore. Didn't play up to our standard, didn't, as you know, all phases didn't play. But these last two games, bro, I mean, the emotional roller coaster that we've been on these past couple of games, man. Talk about from your perspective, especially because you being on offense, you was a part of actually putting up 40-some points against Cincinnati. And then obviously this past week, obviously Caleb kind of willing us to win. How do you feel about these past couple games and just like obviously being 6-3?
Yeah.
So we've been playing really well, man. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, it's been crazy for sure. I think it's, like you said, the roller coaster of emotions. Like, I haven't been a part of a game like that in the NFL where it's like back and forth, kind of shootout, sort of vibe. So it was like, I feel like we have a good team like mindset in the fact it's just like the next play, you know what I mean? Like locking in on the next play, just trying to continue to execute. But you definitely feel it on the sidelines like, oh, here we go again. Like even when, I was out there on Hansen, they recovered, I was like, oh my goodness, they went and scored,
crazy,
50 seconds left. I was like, bro.
I will say the difference is though this year, bro, and this is just personal, just from last year.
Yeah.
Last year when we was in these situations, these games, it was like, here we go again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This year, like, there's really no panic on the sideline. I feel like everybody's still believing we're going to win the games. But I will admittedly say the Cincy game, right? As a defense, bro, we was up, I think, over 2 scores.
Yeah.
Let's go finish the game.
Yeah.
And so we gave up the touchdown, and then I think we went 3 and out. Then we gave up another touchdown. Or matter of fact, it was the onside kick. We gave the onside kick. And when we get the second, I'm on the sideline, bro. I was pissed. So y'all on the field, I'm literally sitting on y'all side of the bench because I didn't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
My body language was trash. And then all I see is Coaster running to the end zone. People was jumping up and down, like, bro, KB, we scored. I was trying my best, bro, because I was really still sick. I'm like, all right, bro, let me lock in. But just like that emotional roller coaster, bro, it's real. And then obviously this past game, I just seen, I think it was a mic'd up deal, whatever, talking about Caleb.
Yeah.
And I just want you to give your thoughts on his growth, like the leadership, because I was seeing a video of him going into y'all in the huddle before the last drive saying, like, bro, let's go score, let's be on our stuff, offensive line, move people off the ball. Talk about just the leadership that Caleb's been showing this year.
Yeah, it's been great. I think he's definitely taken another step, in his leadership, especially compared to last year, just his comfortability within the offense, in the NFL as a player, and it's that type of players that have that like killer instinct, have that level of play matched with that level of leadership that just takes you to new heights. So we definitely riding that wave, with his leadership and everybody on the offensive side of the ball. But when QB1's giving you that energy and going out there and making people miss, scoring touchdowns, game-winning drives, it's like, man, we going places. So
and that's what you want to see from him. Obviously, it's his second year. Like we had to start calling him Iceman because he got ice in his veins.
Yeah, that's
bro.
what
like,
it is, Iceman.
Just to see him showing that confidence, like. And I've seen it over and over again, even from last year. Like when we get in these close games, at the end of the game, we know he needs to go make a play. He's going to do it. I mean, he's basically going out there like it's nothing. Like, I feel like he almost wants to be in those moments.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. And I just just think about just you and him obviously getting drafted together, just y'all progress together, bro. You are leading the team in every category: targets, receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns. Like, bro, you've been showing out this year. Talk about, because I've been seeing this since training camp, bro. You've been hooping, just seeing how Caleb and y'all's chemistry has been really showing itself. Kind of talk about that and how good that has to feel for, obviously now. I mean, it's looking like receiver 1 vibes right now, so you've been hooping, so just kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's been great. I appreciate that. It's definitely, you've seen it, the work in training camp, all the, work that's off camera and all those different things. It's definitely, contributed to the success that we have now. But yeah, it feels good in a position right now. I think we are continuing to develop like that relationship, even like, in the league, you get to those duos like, the Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, like the, Megatron, Matthew Stafford, like, there's greater heights to be achieved. So I feel like we have a good mindset. Like we like that we're making plays and like we're at, especially myself with, the individual receiver stats, like where I'm at. But I understand there's so much meat on the bone. Like,
absolutely,
there's so much more to go achieve. for this team individually, all that. So I feel like we in a good mindset of understanding we doing all right, but we need to go better. Yeah.
But me personally, that's what kind of made it so funny, confusing. Your dad obviously made his comments, his tweets, because in my head I'm thinking bro, this dude is balling right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and I say, even when I seen it, you obviously have already talked about it. I don't want to talk about it too much because you've kind of dead it or whatever. But just in my opinion, his tweets and everything tells me it's you have a father that is obviously supporting his son. And I feel like for any wide receiver, whether if it's yourself, whether if it's DJ, whether if it's my guy AJ who's in Philly, to be an elite receiver, to be the best at your position, number one, you have to have a lot of stuff go right for you. You got to have everybody's blocking, the quarterback's read. It's all type of stuff that goes for you to get the ball. And I feel like you all probably feel like no matter what's going on, whether if you covered or not covered, I can make a play for my guy, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's just your dad was just showing his support on, I want to see my son get all the targets, whatever it may be. Because, let's be real, bro. In our culture, you know what I mean? Us, there's a lot more people that may not have that support from their father.
100%.
There may be some people that have lost their parents or whatever it may be. So I remember when I was in high school, bro, my mom, she used to have to work almost 7 days a week all the time. So sometimes she wasn't able to make it to the games, right?
Yeah.
And I would have players, some of my friends that didn't even really play that much, but their parents be at every game, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I would look in the stands and be like, man, I wish my mom was here, whatever. But I knew she couldn't. She was working, whatever it may be. But just to have the support from a parent, you know what I mean? But you probably looking at Dad, you probably don't need to be tweeting this, bro, stay off Twitter, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I know that's got to be funny, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting game for sure, but, he has his perspective and he's very passionate about it, but I'm right there with you. There's some things a lot of the fan base might make it seem as a distraction and other different things like that, but for me, it being my dad, it's sometimes it's dang, Dad, you making it.
You making it. But you're already in Chicago. You know the media going to take it around with it.
But it's like you said, mostly it's man, I'm glad I got a pops that's out there, riding for his son, in the way that he
want to see you get every target, bro. I don't see nothing wrong with that, bro.
Come on, and especially being the parent of an NFL athlete, bro. You know how, especially in a city like Chicago, how the spotlight is on us. Everything that we do wrong, that's tough being a parent. That's your son right there. Anybody gets to have an opinion. Anybody gets to say anything. But when you say something, it's
Let me ask you this: Did your dad has he always been kind of big on social media or not a lot?
He kind of started in when the recruiting started in college. Yeah.
The reason why I asked this, bro, because I never forget when I got drafted, bro. My dad got a Twitter. And in my head, I'm thinking, bro, you're not even a social media type. What are you doing with social media? But I also felt like it's probably because he wanted to follow his son. He kind of wanted to see what people was talking about.
Yeah.
He don't tweet at all, nothing like that. But I just remember that it was super funny. I'm like, Dad, what did you get in Twitter for?
For sure. It's all the world out there.
We could change topics, bro. It was funny. But I definitely want to ask. I remember we've had conversations, and I didn't know this before. I think this year, but. You told me you grew up in Vegas, you know what I mean? You kind of was living in Vegas and you went to Bishop Gorman High School. I didn't know anything about Bishop Gorman until I seen the ESPN Snoop Dogg deal. It was pretty, obviously his son was going there. But bro, you was Gatorade Player of the Year, 2019, had over 30 plus offers. What made you choose Washington over all the other? Because I think I seen the list, I can't name them all, of all the big time schools that you had offers by. What made you choose Washington?
Really was the coaching staff. I feel like in high school, Bishop Gorman was kind of, it was a rough football environment for me, honestly, just because they had QB1 and everybody was there in high school. So everybody, when I was a freshman, everybody was senior, they was winning national championships. I felt like they treated us like runts, you know what I mean? Kind of how it go. And it was a little character development for me for sure. But when I was getting to that junior, senior year, I was like, man, I want to go somewhere that brings me back to my Little League days where the coaches really care about us, they want the best for us. And I feel like that was where it was at in Washington with Junior Adams, Coach Chris Peterson, who was there at the time. So I was like, man, they got good football, they got good school, got good people. I was like, that's what I needed,
And you, Well, did you cross over with Collar as well when he was being there?
Yeah. I was there for 2 years while Kyle was there. Him and Trent McDuffie were both there, so they was
the
nice.
one-on-ones hitting on. I know that was crazy.
Freshman year, it was clamps, bro.
I already know.
Freshman year, it was clamps. I can't lie. It was clamps. Like but it was like, we was learning. We was like,
that's
damn,
real.
bro, we got to go figure something out because these boys was clamping us.
That's
so,
development right there. That's
exactly.
tough. But I mean, you obviously had a great career at Washington, consensus first team All-American, all that good stuff. I think you led NCAA receiving yards your senior year. But even your senior year, you played against Caleb and Colston, bro.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just think about it, obviously y'all teammates now. Obviously y'all all went first round.
Yeah.
How cool is that to just be able to play with those guys? And I mean, obviously now in the league and you played against them in college.
It's dope, man. It really is like, the football world is small in that way, and it is like rewarding in that way. Like, everybody's kind of tight like that, and you get to experience, different players. But it was cool, man. This last game really was like flashbacks, man. Seeing Caleb like scramble, like that was like, man, he looked like he got in that, that crimson and yellow, Heisman moment. You know what I mean?
Fact.
So, it was definitely dope, seeing him, seeing his development. We got that dub over him in college, so that's always over his head.
All that matters.
Colston's got the big dub in the national championships over me, but it's great seeing him as well. Like that catch he made in the last game too was like reminiscent. I'm like, dang, man, I've seen that before.
No, absolutely.
So he made some big plays over there at Michigan against us in that game too. So now seeing them in the league, all of us together, it's like, man, yeah, it's. I'm sure you might have surpassed all the people that was in your class now, man.
I bet. I've been in the league for a minute, bro. It's
you
not
one of the few left.
It's not too many of us left, bro. Not even gonna lie, it's crazy. But I want to ask you this though, because I feel like you talk to people about playing in the Super Bowl, right? I mean, not a lot of people play in the national championship game.
Yeah.
Like, how was that experience for you? Where did y'all play at exactly?
We were in Houston.
Y'all was in Houston. So tell me about that experience of how the national, because everybody say playing the Super Bowl. It's like a production. The game is like 3-4 hours long because halftime, you got the halftime shows. Like, how was that playing the national championship for your college?
It was cool, man. It was cool. I mean, obviously being at UW, like, football is big over there, but, it's not like we have made the appearances like that at Bama's and SEC school. So when we got there, it was dope, man. Like, it was a hell of a season. Some memories I'll never forget. But the national championship game was cool. I think we was out there for like a week, or we was maybe out there for 4 or 5 days, and just staying in the hotel. And we had the little meetings. Like, it kind of felt like the Super Bowl where everybody got decked out, like
all the gear, and
all the gear and everything,
and
doing the interviews. So it definitely kind of felt like that a little bit. But it's just dope. Like, obviously playing at the highest level on that level of football. You know what I mean? Like, we all play Little League championships, then we get to college, play championships at those divisions, and then, obviously being in the NFL, it's time to go get that big one.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And you, obviously, Michael Penix was your quarterback. Y'all still keep in touch a lot?
Yeah, for sure. I talk with Penix a lot, man. His weddings are going to be this summer, so
that's dope.
I'm excited to see all the boys and all the UW cats back together.
That's tough. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, UW, y'all got some alumni. I mean, I know they talk about the DBU, but y'all got some guys in the league. Obviously, even your class, I think Polk, in Pacers,
Polk,
you put some guys in the league as well. But I mean, honestly, to finish this thing off, I definitely want to talk about something that I seen on College Game Day, right? It was a story about your grandfather, and you spending summers out there in Utah, and was basically just kind of talking about the mentality and the work ethic that you seen from him, about him waking up, 4 in the morning, milking the cows, and then taking a 30-mile bike ride, which is crazy as a grandfather to do that. But kind of talk about, like, what you've seen from him as a child growing up and kind of how you've modeled your life or what you learned from him as far as about your mentality and just the work ethic and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, learned a lot from him, and then he inspired me definitely to be, in that aspect of working hard and being like selfless and kind of like not complaining about it either, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was crazy, man, growing up summers there, milking cows, all the dirty work that has to do with the farm, man. It is crazy taking care of live animals. Like,
I can imagine.
There's some nasty stuff, but man, he never complained, and he raised 8 kids, and like, I see his family now, and I'm like, man, that's dope, man. They all like well educated, all have children of their own. Like, to see his prosperity was amazing. So I definitely, got a lot from him. And that goes for both my grandfathers and grandparents as well. Like, my grandparents on my pop's side are Nigerian immigrants. So seeing them come here, like, and do what they had to do to, make ends meet for their kids. They got 9. So I'm like, man, with those two like pillars, man, it was like, I got to do something.
You ain't got no choice at this point.
Yeah, I ain't got no choice but to go, work hard, develop, and make something for myself and my family's name. So,
that's dope, bro.
my grandfather has since passed away, so RIP to, Wayne Bunnell, but he was a great man, yeah.
That's got to be awesome, bro. I feel like, I know for a fact, obviously he's smiling down on the things you've been able to accomplish, just even within a short time of the college and the NFL. And I know all your parents and everybody's proud of you. Let me ask you a question, though. Do you think you could ever run your own farm? Do you think that's something that you would possibly do? Like, it's funny because my wife talks about this all the time. Like, when I retire, we need to go buy some land, we need to get some cows. And, bro, they got these mini cows, bro. You ever seen
mini cows? No,
bro, listen, bro. You know how they got like the doodles, like doodle dogs, but they look like doodle cows.
Got doodle cows.
And they like this big, bro. And I'm like, number one, it's like, D, you probably can't even milk these things, bro. You just trying to get decoration for a farm.
That's a decoration.
But it's just
like
it's just funny because she's like, we should get a farm, we should get chickens, and I'm just like, but I know, obviously I haven't raised on a farm, but even hearing you talk about it, that's hard work, bro.
Oh, it's work.
And who's gonna have to be the one to do all that? Me, myself. You know what I mean?
You ain't doing none of that dirty work. Yeah.
So would you think you could do something like that, bro?
I don't know, but not the way my grandpa did it, man. But it'd be nice to have like a horse, maybe one cow, a goat. But bro,
a little bit.
You get too many animals out there, like they start running amok, and animals are cool, but they also not the smartest. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
They run over fences. They get they self stuck places like you couldn't even imagine. So. I don't know. It would definitely be cool to have some horses, some animals, later on. But like you said, man, that's gonna be us.
That's a
doing all the
full-time
work.
job,
Yeah, that's
bro.
a full-time job.
I want to be able to enjoy retirement a little bit, bro. I want to go right back to work.
Right back to work, man.
That's funny, bro. But no, Rome, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, spending some time with me, man. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of Intercepted. Thanks for watching Intercepted. Make sure to stay glued to the recap for new episodes all season here on YouTube.